Hello, welcome to today's Business Finance Masterclass. I actually did this masterclass on Facebook Live, but I was trying to adjust some things and had some information, and I mistakenly deleted the live, and I've had to jump up to record it again, just so that we have this to help us to follow on the masterclass series. Welcome once again. My name is Tosin John from T Angel Business School, where we help business owners, individuals, and budding entrepreneurs to gain clarity on their business propositions and business goals in order for them to be able to have the right knowledge to start and build a profitable and successful business. So whether you're just starting out or you're looking to grow your business and change your life, our aim and our mission is to give you all the resources, the knowledge, the training, the tools, and strategies that you need to unleash your purpose, your passion, for you to be able to create a business and life that you love and that you desire. If you're just joining us for the very first time, this is the 4-series masterclass on our business finance. The purpose of this business masterclass is for us to be able to get to grips with all our business finances and to put them in proper shape in order to make sure that we are running a profitable business. So if you're joining us for the very first time, I would love you to go and look at the past 2 videos that we've done with regards to business finance. We talked about the basics of business finance. The first series is about the basics. We need to understand why we are actually in business. We need to set a goal for why we're in business, what the income from this business, the profit from this business, what it is set to achieve for us. We need to understand it. We need to have it documented. This is what the first video was about. The second video we did last week, it's all about the components of running this profitable business. And in this particular masterclass, what we discussed was the 4 components. The first one is understanding and having a clear revenue goal that is able to meet up with your business expense, that is able to meet up with your personal expense as the business owner, and that is also able to give you profits to meet up with the to meet up with the revenue goal that you've actually set for yourself. We also discussed about the pricing strategy you need to have in place to make sure that everything is running smoothly and that it will help you to achieve the end goal. Say, for instance, you're selling things and you have them priced at the wrong price, or you are not pricing them appropriately. It's going to be very difficult for you to reach the target that you want your business to get to. In this masterclass series, you'll be able, if you go through the components, you'll be able to understand how to make sure that your pricing strategy is in tip-top shape to meet your revenue goal. The third component that we discussed about was having a cash flow management system in place. Today, we are going to delve deeper into how to make sure that you actually have a system to help you track what is incoming and what is outgoing in your business, and to make sure that you account for the profit and how you spend it. The last component that we discussed was all about making sure that you have consistent revenue to make a consistent revenue in your business that will help you to meet up with the goals that you've already set for yourself. And today we're going into the third masterclass series, which is all about having a cash flow management system in place. So what's actually a cash flow management system? This is a system of having in place, and this is a system of having something that helps you to keep track of all your incoming, that helps you to keep track of all your outgoing, so that you will make sure that everything is in place to monitor and to expand on what you are actually spending in your business and what profits you have in place. A lot of businesses fail because no one actually talks about how you account for all the incoming and outgoing in your business. It's very easy to understand that you have to run a business. it's very easy to talk about the front end of the business. But what we are discussing today is all about making sure that your back end is also looked after in such a way that you'll be able to assess over time and long term if the business you are running is going to be sustainable for you and to meet up with the lifestyle that you actually want for yourself. So we are not going to talk too much about the discussion, but I'm going to go into the spreadsheet I've actually created for this class to give us an insight into what your cash flow management should be able to cater for. So if you give me a few minutes, I'm going to open up the spreadsheet I've created for this masterclass. Okay, just give me 1 sec as we make sure that we have everything in place. Okay, there we go. So if we can see my screen right here, this is the spreadsheet that gives us the basics of what you need to cover and what your business also needs to cover. Say, for instance, I'm running a business, okay? I want to be able to make sure that my business can cater for my personal needs. And how do I know if my business can cater for my personal needs? By me putting all the information. I mentioned last week that we need to have all the information, all our outgoings, personal outgoings. We need to separate it from the business expenses. In this spreadsheet, I've been able to give samples of what your personal outgoing could be. If you're paying mortgage, if you're paying rent, you need to account for it. All your bills, your telephone bills, your internet. If you have something, if you're paying for monthly subscriptions like Netflix, Sky TV, you need to account for it. If you are paying for things like car insurance, which usually people do on a yearly basis or on a monthly basis, you need to account for it. Some of the things that we account for on a yearly basis, for instance, road tax, I pay it on a yearly basis. But in this spreadsheet, we need to make sure that it is accounted for on a monthly basis. The reason why we have to do this is because you do not want to get to that month where you need to pay your road tax and find out that you're lumped with a bill of £200 and you do not actually have that money in place. It will force you to use a credit card or to take money that is not available. But when you already have it assigned in your spreadsheet and you're taking that money out, you're already putting it into a separate account, into a buffer. It will help you to make sure that you're meeting up with all your expenses that you have for the month. So all the food items, you need to account for it. And the only way you know how much you're actually spending is if you are tracking. For me, I've been able to understand how to track this by I've stopped using cash, because when I pay by card at the end of the month, my account is able to give me what and where I spend this money. And that way it's very easy for me to track it. So if we begin to change all of our spending habits, they will really help us to put things into perspective and to make sure that the hard work that we put into our business goes a long way to achieve greater results for us. So I've even you could account for things that you even do without actually thinking about, like paying offerings and tithes in church. If you also give money to charity every month, you also need to account for it. If you have life insurance, I've accounted for life insurance here as well. There are also some certain things that we do in our personal life that we might not take notice of. An instance is, say, for instance, your children, you put them into holiday clubs or you put them into certain clubs at the end of the month where they just have extracurricular activities. You need to make sure that every single thing you're spending money on is accounted for in your spreadsheet. And at the end of the month, you need to see what your personal expense is going to be. Once you know what your personal expense is at the end of every month, you need to make sure that your business can account and can sustainably provide this money for you. The next part that we need to also understand is our business monthly expenses. In your business, there are some people, I understand, you might not be running a physical shop, you might not have a physical premise, you might be running an online business. As long as that business is incurring certain amount every month, it needs to be accounted for. Say, for instance, you run an online business, but you have a website. Every year, you need to know and to account for what you pay. Any monthly subscriptions of any software and apps that you use to help you run your business. Say, for instance, you take on virtual assistants, you take on staff and contractors every month to help you to run that business. Everything needs to be accounted for within this spreadsheet. The reason why you need to account for everything, you do not necessarily need to give it the heading and the title I've done here, but it needs to be accounted for. And at the end of the month, you want to see what the business expense is all about, or is giving you. In this instance, I've created this spreadsheet, and my monthly business expense is about £2,300. And remember, I also have personal expenses of $2,005. At the end of the month, okay, I need to make sure that this business is able to earn me $4,850 at the minimum, just for me to break even. Just for me to break even. It therefore means that if I need to run a profitable business, I need to make sure that all my incoming from my business is able to sustain this business long term. And also remember, a proper cash flow management system is where you have the incoming, the outgoing, and you can also account for profits in your business. The reason why you need to account for profits separate from your personal expense is because if you want to be able to fund the lifestyle of why you started this business, it's not going to be sustainable if you only depend on the personal expense that you are taking from the business. Remember, your personal expense are the ones that you already are incurring. Now I need to have extra savings. I need to have extra buffer from this particular business. I've said, for instance, if you want to go into property investments, if you want to have a lifestyle that you, every year you go on holidays, you spend 3 weeks away, or 1 month, or however you choose, or if the purpose of having your business or of setting up that business is to have extra money for you to be able to meet up with, say, you have debts that you need to write off, or you've got money that you want to sponsor certain family members. Everything that you have already set up for yourself of why you want to start this business, this is where you would know from this spreadsheet, is where you're going to be able to identify that your business is able to fund the revenue goal that you actually have. So in this instance, I've given an instance of someone that's actually running an online business, and their first income, they have multiple streams of income. The first income they earn from of selling fashion accessories, and people come to their websites, they buy. So on a monthly basis, this is what they earn, $2,900. They are also an agent for Mary Kay, and they also sell makeup and fashion makeup accessories or makeup stuff. They earn approximately $1,400 from that. They also have things that they upload to eBay. You know, they have bits and pieces where they get things and they sell it online on eBay, on Amazon, and they're making approximately about $1,300 every month. At the end of the month, they've been able to identify that their business makes them about £5,600 every month. Don't forget, they have this expense, $4,850 as their expense. And at the end of the month, they are making approximately £750 in profit, or $750, depending on where you are based. What you want to be able to do, which is very essential that you take note of, is this. You've identified, because you've gone through all your bank statements, you've gone through your incoming and your outgoing, you can say categorically how much this business is making for you in profit. You've already used this basic spreadsheet to help you to determine that and to put everything into perspective. Now you can see that this business is earning you £750 profit. You need to make sure you create an account or a savings account or a buffer, however you choose, to take this money away every month and put it into that separate account. I'm going to give you an insight into this, why you need to do this. As someone who runs a retail shop, I found out that when I wasn't implementing this particular strategy of taking the profit away from my business account and putting it separate, what I found out that I was just using the money to continue to run the business. And even though my spreadsheet and my account balance book is telling me I'm in profit, but I cannot physically account for the money because I'm lumping it back into the business and I'm not putting it separate. This is where a lot of people cannot actually define if the business is in profit, because they've used all the profit and reinvested it back into the business. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is to keep this money separate. If your intention is to reinvest it back, you can always take it back from the account and reinvest it into what you want. If the idea is for you to be able to make sure that this profit is funding the lifestyle, is funding the desires, is funding what you want, is funding the investments, you need to be able to take this money and physically transfer and keep it where you know is being accounted for. And now what you want to be able to do is this, because it is very, very easy to get bogged down by all of this information. But what keeps it very, very straightforward for us is this. One, you need to understand what personal expense, and if in case you notice that in this particular spreadsheet that this is in the red and is giving you a minus, what you need to do are two things. It's either you reduce your expenses or you find ways to increase your income. The second part, I'm going to be able to discuss more in depth next week when I talk about how to consistently make sure that you're earning more money than you're actually spending. So we need to make sure that we reduce our expenses, find ways and where you could actually cut your bills, find ways and where you could actually cut some of the things that you're spending on every month in order to make sure that you are able to create more profit for yourself at the end of every month. This spreadsheet, as basic as it looks, is the key for you to understand if you are running a business that will sustain you long term. This is where a lot of people miss it, because you are only looking at how to market your business, how to get more customers, how to make more sales. But when you're making more sales and you cannot account for the profit that you're actually making, there's no point in the business. You could just easily leave the business and go into a 9-to-5 job where you know you don't need to account for business expenses. It doesn't need to fund any investments or lifestyle that you desire. But if you are in business to make money, if you are in business to make profit, if you are in business to be successful, you need to make sure that your business finance is in good order. And the only way it can be in good order is if you are tracking what is coming in, the sources they are coming in from, which of your business, which product, which services are actually your high-selling ticket offers or your products. You need to make sure which one is actually set to give you the income that you desire, and make sure you double down on marketing those ones. So until you actually know where the money is coming from, the sources of your income, and if all the expenses that you need to incur for your business, for your personal life, that the business you have is able to, comfortably sponsor that, it's going to be harder for you to move the business forward or to see where you need to improve on things. I've also, if you would like a copy, I've also, if you give me a sec, I've also created a very, very simple and basic cash flow management system that will help us to put things into proper perspective. If you would like a download, I'll put into the comments the link for you to be able to download this particular spreadsheet. Is is going to help us to see where we need to identify first the goal that we are setting ourselves, the goal we are setting for ourselves. It will help us to identify what we need to plan for. So if you just give me 1 sec, I just want to make sure I bring this up for us. Okay, this is a very basic spreadsheet that I created for this particular purpose. So what we want to be able to do is to identify all the business and personal expenses, and that we are tracking them, all the goals that we have for ourselves, all the goals that we have for the business, and we are tracking them. So in this particular spreadsheet, all you just need to do is to outline all your expenses that you have in your personal life, the due dates that you have them, if it's on a monthly basis, if it's on a yearly basis. Like I said, you all just need to divide it by 12, and you're accounting for it on a monthly basis. You can include any notes that you would like. This is very versatile, this spreadsheet. If you need more space, there is more space for you to be able to add in more personal expenses that you have. Also, you need to account for all the business expenses that you incur for your business on a monthly basis, and you could use this spreadsheet to put in all the monthly all the expenses that you incur, everything that you need to put. There's enough space for you to go to the second page as well to include all the information that you need. And here is where you also need to be paying attention. If my goal is for if one of the goal if one of the business revenue goals I have is for me to have yearly holidays with my kids, okay, I need to identify what it will actually cost me approximately to go on holidays every year. So that way I have something I'm looking forward to, and I'm able to ascertain if my business is able to sponsor that lifestyle. I'll give you an instance. If one of my goals is to go on holiday with my children every year, and I've already budgeted, this is where this spreadsheet is going to help us long term. And I've already budgeted that it should cost me approximately £2,000 to go on that holiday. So this is where I put that information. Okay, I say this, I put £2,000 in this particular space. And how much would it cost me every month to set aside to be able to meet that target? I need to identify, it should be approximately about £200 or thereabout to set aside every month. Yeah, just less than £200 to set aside every month for me to be able to meet that yearly target. And I've already identified that my business should make me a profit of £700, and therefore I still have money left to cover other financial milestone or goal that I actually have set for myself. This is where it's very essential for us to be keeping track of our incoming and our outgoing, and have a proper cash flow management system in place. What I've done of recent to help me also, keep this into proper perspective and focus every time is that I have it printed out and I have it with me. Sometimes some of these things changes, and I find that I'm losing track of what I'm spending, because some months I incur certain expenses I never expected, and some months things that I expected to spend I didn't actually spend it on. But when I'm keeping track of this, because I have the spreadsheet with me now, I have it several printed, and I keep it with me. I keep track of everything. So at the end of the month, I can go into my business account, I can go into my personal account, I can compare notes with whatever I have with me to make sure that I haven't missed anything, and that I do not want to be, surprised at the end of the month by things I've spent on that it wasn't accounted for. This is where having a cash flow management system is very, very critical to ensure that we are running a sustainable and a profitable business long term. So if you would like a copy of this spreadsheet to help you, I've put the link in the comment. I want you to grab the link, download this spreadsheet, and start to use it to begin to shape your business and make sure that it's set up to serve you long term. If you look at the last page of this particular spreadsheet, this is the profit and loss account section, where you'll be able to account for everything, all the monthly income we explained at the onset, everything that's coming into your business. This is where you account for it, all the monthly income, all the monthly expenses that you have. This is where you account for it. This is where you see everything at a glance, at the total. And then at the last part, this is where you minus your expenses from your income, and you can see at a glance if you are actually in profit. Because when you're in profit, then you're happy and you can dance to the bank, knowing that this business is on its way to the greater profitability level. Another beautiful reason why you need to keep track of this is, for instance, if you needed to expand your business and you needed to take it to a higher level, the first thing any investor, you want to go into joint venture is this: they will want to see your books. This just gives them a very, very simple analogy about where you are at. One, it gives you the confidence to know that that business is running sustainably. Number two, it gives any investor or anyone that wants to invest in that business, that wants to give you the finance to expand on it. If you show them your books, you show them this spreadsheet, you show your accountants, they can see at a glance where you are at, and it helps you to plan further. Do you need to reduce your expenses? Your outgoings? What do you need to do to increase your income? It just gives you a very, very broad picture about how you're taking your business and if you're going in the right direction. So I hope we've been able to learn a few things today from having a proper cash flow management system. If you want more information, I'll be happy to, to jump on a strategy call with you. So if you would like me to look at your books and give you, certain tips about how you can actually implement this in your business that is specific to you, you can book a free 30-minute strategy call using my Facebook page or my Instagram page. You can book a free strategy call for us to sit together, for us to work together to see where and how you can actually begin to implement this, so you know that you are on the right track to make sure that you are creating a profitable and a sustainable business. So I just want us to understand this. You are great, and you have everything that is within you to create a profitable and a sustainable business. You have the power within you to create a successful life and a successful business. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. All you need is within your grasp. I want you to understand that, and I want you to take note of that. So until next week, we will be discussing how you can consistently be making sales in your business in order to make sure that you're meeting your revenue targets and your revenue goals. Make sure you check back on the past two videos, the basics of business finance and why you need goals to help you to reach your business targets. You also need to have a watch of the 4 components of running a profitable business. And today we've delved deeper into the cash flow management system and how to set up one to ensure that it is running profitably. All right, until next time I see you, don't forget, unleash your passion, unleash your purpose to create a profitable life and business that you love. See you next time, and bye for now. Thank you.